Hey guys, this is Andrew with JVR Industries. We're in Buffalo, New York, and this is our JVR Vac100. Quickly, I'm not here to really show the machine too much. I really want to introduce a option that will be available for this machine, and I really want to use you guys as a sample audience to kind of just get some feedback and see what you think. Let's get started. So the Vac100, we can vacuum seal a standard 8-ounce canning jar, like a half-pint canning jar, in the chamber. It will fit. For those that don't know, vacuum sealers can do cans. The key to vacuum sealing a can or a jar is to use a 2-piece lid. So you need to have your top and then the lid separate. It can't be like a 1-piece lid. And what you want to do is you want to set that top lid on the jar. Make sure it's centered, and then take your top, screw it on ever so lightly, just so it's holding, but you definitely do not want to tighten down on this. And then you can put it in your chamber, and then you would just run it like you would a normal chamber cycle, where it's going to pull vacuum. And then what happens is during the vacuum cycle, it's actually going to lift that cap up. It's going to pull the air out of the jar, and then at the very end, when the air rushes back into the chamber and it vents, that lid will pop down. You'll get that nice positive concave to the top of the lid, so you'll know that that is vacuum sealed. And trust me, after you're done sealing one, you will not be able to get that lid off without prying it off. So with that being said, obviously there's limitations to any chamber machine as far as what you can fit inside the chamber, and without getting the cost skyrocketing by going with a much bigger chamber to fit a larger jar, we've come up with a solution that I really am excited about and I think will work well. This was based on some feedback we received from customers that have purchased Vac100s. And we wanted to make it as easy as possible for them to do larger jars, whether they're your full pint, your quart, even your half-gallon, large half-gallon jars. So this is what we've come up with, and I'd love to know what you guys think. So we're going to get these out of here for now. And this is it. This is a vacuum chamber. You'll see these for like degassing and for doing different products, usually outside of like food preservation markets. I know they use them in a whole slew, and if you search vacuum chamber but not vacuum sealer chamber, you'll probably find these. So we're not creating something from scratch. JVR Industries is all about perfecting things, also customizing and making things suit a chamber machine, and also just knowing what customers want and really getting to that. So what we are going to do is we're going to actually use this chamber, and we're going to use the pump that is in the JVR Vac100 to pull vacuum on a chamber. So this is a 9.5 by 9.5 by 10-inch high, 12-inch high chamber. This will do up to a half-gallon size. Right now I have in here 7 pint size, so 16-ounce jars. You could easily do 4 of the quart size, and then I think we can maybe do 2 of the half-gallon, at least 1 of the half-gallon. I haven't tested that one out yet. So what we're going to end up doing is putting the lid on here, setting it inside the chamber, and actually it fits really nice. You don't have to put it in the chamber, but it fits really nice if you take the seal bar out and you set this right on in there. That. And what we'll do is we'll use an accessory hose here, which we've just taken the end off and put it into a quick disconnect. So what our thoughts are is we're going to actually sell this as an option. You can purchase it with the machine, or after you purchase the machine later down the road. It will come with everything you need to use it, so you won't have to cut or use your accessory hose that comes with the machine. You'll literally be able to open this out of the box. You'll probably have to just thread this fitting on, which is really easy to do. Push the hose into the connector and you're good to go. So the lid literally just sits on top here, and what we're going to do is take that accessory hose, run it around back here, and just kind of let it sit right there on the vacuum port that's on the JVR Vac100. So I'm going to turn this on, and one of the great things about this machine, you can run the pumps separate, so you can run accessories, you can vacuum seal canisters, and in this case we are going to seal up and vacuum seal 7 pint size mason jars. These are your standard mason jars with 2-piece lids. So I've got it set to 60 seconds. If you really want to pull a really deep draw, going up to like 70 or 80 seconds might be what you need to get that result that you're looking for. but 60 seconds is more than enough to pull that lid down and give you a really good vacuum inside that jar. So by just setting it onto that open port, I'm going to turn the pump on. Now the only thing in our testing so far that I've found is every once in a while, I do have to put a little bit of pressure on here for it to seal. It looks like I do not have to do this. And the way you'll know is when you're doing this process, right on the screen on the JVR Vac100, there's a little vacuum gauge there, so it tells us what our vacuum level is. So that's going to tell us what the vacuum level is inside the chamber. So I'm watching it right now. We're at 0.085, and 0.1 would be perfect vacuum because this is giving us a bar reading. For 0.095, there's 18 seconds left. So I'm going to let this run for the entire time. And when it gets down to 1 second, the only thing that you really got to do is close this off before it gets to 0. So we're at 3, we're at 2, so I'm closing that off, and it's going to shut the pump off now. Now at this point, you can just pull the fitting right off. So what we have here is a fully closed off, fully vacuum sealed canister. This canister, which we've sourced out and we've made some modifications to an existing vacuum chamber, and we really like this chamber. It's got a very thick tempered glass lid. This thing weighs, the lid itself weighs a few pounds. The stainless steel sidewalls and the actual chamber of this is very solid. It's got a very thick wall to it. We're very happy with this. We don't think customers are going to have any issues. We've done we've looked into reviews and we've looked into other designs and other types of lids, and I think this is going to be a winner here. But we are going to have a few changes made to it. We had to redo the fittings, but it's pretty much where it needs to be, and we're just looking to get these manufactured and get these ordered and brought in. So at this point, we have the chamber completely under vacuum. All we have to do now at this point to get all of those lids to seal and to vacuum seal shut is literally just vent it. So what this venting is going to do is we have all the air out of the chamber. It's sitting there, it's airless. By allowing the air back in rapidly, it's going to bring that air in and it's going to put pressure down on the lid of that mason jar and it's going to seal it off. So I'm going to do that now. And you should be able to hear that. That's the sound of the air rushing in. Once the air is all in, we can just take the lid right off at that point. And we can pull any of these mason jars off. Now remember, this lid is not being held on really. We just have that loosely on there. This is tight. I mean, you will not get this off. I should have put some water in here just to show you, but I hope you can trust me that this you will not get off. And I'll even get close to the camera so you can hear when I do finally pop that off. But at this point, you would just take all your jars out, screw the lid on, and you've got a vacuum sealed jar. So real quick, let me just show you that. Hope you can see this. I'm sure you could hear that. Hopefully you got it in the video. But yeah, so we had some feedback. We had some customers asking for something along these lines. Instead of going with a larger chamber so you could fit larger jars, which is the limitation of any chamber machine, we just figured let's get a chamber that will work for any jar. It's much cheaper to go with a large chamber and then to vacuum it out separately than to go with a larger chamber machine, which is now going to require a larger seal bar, and there's a lot more to it. So I would love to know your thoughts. Please just leave some feedback, comments, anything. I appreciate it. If there's anything else that you have questions in regards to, feel free to visit our website, jvrinc.com, jvrinc.com, or just email me, Andrew at jvrinc.com. And again, I appreciate the feedback, so thank you.